Yo, what's good? It's your boy Dot from Dot Me Now Coaching and Entertainment. For coaching, my links are down below. Drop a like on this video, subscribe if you're new. We are going to be talking about rebirth and being born again and kind of what it's like experiencing that. And I'm also going to drop another video that goes more in depth into the three-step process of rebirth, right? Now, I'm going to start this video off by reading, you know, a post that I made on my Instagram today, which says, rebirthing is a very important process which is meant to happen while a person is still alive, not after quote unquote death. During this process, one begins to shed their old nature completely in order to step into their higher divine nature. A person may undergo several rebirths where they are just going from being one illusory character to another. But the true rebirth is when one decides to shed all illusions completely in order to walk in one's divinity. So understand that with rebirth, right? A lot of people could talk about rebirth, and I've seen like people mentioning like a certain breathing practice which could be used to like rebirth you. I've actually, even though I never looked it up, I think I know what they're talking about because they're like, I remember like while I was doing this fast, the first time when I went 14 days, now I'm on day 13, but I hit 14 tomorrow. But the last 14-day fast, right, when I did that, there's times like where I would breathe and like all this energy would like come over me and it felt like I had an orgasm and like my body would start to like vibrate and get really tingling and stuff like that, you know? I don't know if that's what they meant, but I'm bringing that up because people will mention like the breathing rebirthing process, but understand that that's not the true rebirth. If anything, that's the second part, which deals with revitalization. But I'll talk about that in a separate video, you know? And that's it's still good to do that because that breathing does help to kind of like cleanse you and revitalize your energy and stuff like that. But many people notice that they need to do that multiple times, you know what I'm saying? And many people realize that after doing that, yeah, certain stuff is cleared up, but they're still not like a completely, they're still not like the complete purified version of their divine self. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm mentioning this because with rebirth, a lot of people go through small rebirths, right? Where like they die to certain parts of themselves and then they, tap into new parts of themselves. But even then, most people are just going from one character to another, one illusion to another, even with past lives, right? Like your past lives are illusory characters because any character is based upon illusion that you are this separate being. Like my Altorian form, right? It's an illusion. Saying that I am literally an Altorian and like nigga, no, your source, your God, you're the most high, you know? It's not bad to step into new characters. It's just understanding that all characters are illusory and that the true rebirth happens when you transcend all illusory characters and you fully embody your divine spirit, kind of like Christ, right? When Christ was reborn, right? He didn't like just become a new person. No, he got fully in tune with his spirit, and now he had a physical body that could become a spiritual body and stuff like that. He became fully in tune with his spirit. He didn't just become a new character, you see? So, this is very important to understand, okay? And it's also important to understand that rebirthing is like an alchemical process, right? And this is actually really important when it comes to a certain quote that Christ said when he says, I am the resurrection and the life, right? This is an affirmation that we should all use when it comes to overcoming certain things which you want to let go of. Because a lot of times we'll say, yo, I'm just going to drop this thing. I'm done with this thing. I'm done being this person, etc. But when you do that, you kind of invert and disrupt the flow of energy. Imagine that this old person or that this old characteristic which you used to have, imagine that it was like flowing up, right? It's flowing up your body. And you're like, I'm done with that shit. Now it puts a block there, right? Now it blocks the energy and now it's kind of just stuck and it may flow back down and just build up inside your lower body and stuff like that, right? So it kind of blocks and disrupts the flow. But when you say I am the resurrection and the life, when you say that, you literally acknowledge that, yeah, you are this thing, but you're the resurrected version of it and you're the true life that sustains that thing. Because all habits, whether good or bad, are sustained by a certain energy, right? And at the end of the day, all energy is one. It's just manifesting in different forms. So when you say I am the resurrection and the life, It's like what Christ did. Christ literally resurrected himself. He didn't say, I'm done being immortal. I'm going to become a God now. He said, I am the resurrection and the life. So he acknowledged that he has this body, but he was able to resurrect it and become the true life that sustains this body. He became the true spirit which sustains this body, and he can now still maintain this body but transform it into a new form. So even with like all your old habits and your old characters, right? It's not about fully dropping them, it's about transforming them, acknowledging that you are that these characters are there, but you are the resurrection of that character. You are the higher version of that character, and you are the life behind the character. You're not the life that is also tied with delusions. No, 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 no. You're the resurrection. You're saying that you are this life and you are the resurrection that breaks beyond the illusions. So you're still acknowledging it. So with this being said, now when the flow is going up, right, it doesn't get blocked. Instead, it just gets purified and keeps on rising up. And then it becomes more powerful. You should do this anytime you make a mistake. Be like, I am the resurrection and the life. You literally, anytime you act out of illusion and do something wrong or something like that, acknowledge that you are the resurrection in the life, right? You are the resurrected version of this thing. Once you did it, let's say I broke my fast early, right? Now it's not really wrong to eat per se. Like if I broke my fast, I wouldn't care personally, but because I made a promise to the external world, I gotta keep that shit. Plus I made a promise to myself also. I did vow on this shit. You feel me? So because I said a vow to myself, it's like if I were to eat before the 40 days, that would be wrong. But I shouldn't beat myself up. I should say I'm the resurrection and the life, right? Yeah, I did this thing, but really I'm the resurrected version of this thing, and I'm the energy behind this thing. I'm the spirit behind this thing, not the thing that did the action, but the life behind the action. And when I identify with the life behind the action and the energy behind the action, I can now use that energy for a better action. You see? So rebirth is an alchemical process of transforming who you are, not dying, right? Because the reason why I put death in quotes, right? I said that's not something that happens. It's supposed to happen while we're alive, not after quote unquote death. I put quotes after death because death is an illusion. You know what I'm saying? Death is an illusion. Really, death is just a transition. It's just a transition period. And if we were like fully conscious beings, we wouldn't even have to experience death. Either we would just like leave our body when we want to, or we would just take our body with us, literally. Like that's what it would be. And at that point, what would we be? The resurrection and the life of the body. That's why we can take the body with us, because we literally resurrect the body because we are the energy behind the body, and we're able to take that with us into higher planes, right? So I'm saying that because this is an alchemical process, right? It's a transformative process. Nothing ever dies. When we experience death, we're just transitioning from this state to another. And if we were more conscious, we would actually properly see the transition, opposed to like experiencing what we think is death, you know? That's an illusion. So whenever you get reborn, you never died to begin with. You got resurrected. You got resurrected. You did alchemy and you transformed yourself. Like right now, I'm going through a process of rebirth, right? I'm in the second stage of revitalization. Once again, I'm gonna make a separate video about the 3 stages, right? But this is important because when it comes to me, right? So what even started this whole entire fasting stuff was the fact that with the first 14 days that I went, that started because I went to this planet that's called XR, which is in Phoenix, right? And it has like these very high vibrational Phoenix beings. And when I interacted with Phoenixes last year, they made them niggas had me not eating too. I came back from that shit and I was throwing the fuck up, couldn't fuck with food, none of that shit. You feel me? So I'm saying all that because Phoenixes are literally the symbol of rebirth, right? And when a Phoenix like goes through rebirth, what usually happens is that you kind of see their form die, quote unquote, but then it literally turns. Like usually they have like a form that has like actual like feathers and things like that, whatever the fuck. But then when they die, or you think they die, what happens is that body, that carcass transforms into like a pure fire light body, and then they resurrect. So you see, even with the phoenix, even when the phoenix dies, the phoenix kind of transforms its body because it becomes the resurrection and the life behind. Is it like literally when that fiery phoenix flies up from the dead body and stuff like that, right? It's the life behind the body. It's able to become resurrected because it becomes the true spirit behind the body. You see what I'm saying? And when it comes to my fasting period, right? Fasting is helping me to revitalize. It's helping me to really get in tune with my true energy and stuff like that. And even when I start eating again, right? I'm still gonna be doing that process. But I'm not fully reborn yet. Because if I was like, even though like I'm a new person than I was before and stuff like that, I'm not fully reborn in the highest divine sense because I'm still acting off illusion and I'm still gonna be acting off illusion. It's just that I know that I'm acting off illusion and I'm gonna do it in a way which isn't harmful to my body and to my spiritual growth and evolution. You feel me? So yeah, that's what I got about rebirth and being reborn and what that all entails and stuff like that. I love you all. Catch my next video. Peace the freak out.